Hey guys, welcome to Between the Beams, a brand new podcast from Coda Nairobi, where we get to discover more about the artists we host and book at our club. My first guest that we're hosting is one of my favorite DJ producers from South Africa, Mr. Capo.
What's up, bro?
What's up, my brother? How are
Good,
you?
my G. How are you?
Yeah, good man, good man. You got in okay?
Yeah. I got an okay, bro. I
Yeah,
had a very short and an amazing trip.
yeah.
Back to the real motherland.
Back to the real
Yes,
motherland.
sir.
Nice, nice. Before we get into more of the segment, for people who don't know the Capo, who is the Capo?
Yeah. So the Capo's house music producer, hailing all the way from Polokwane in Limpopo. Yeah, I don't want to mention my age because I'm too old. I've been in the industry. Like it's been what, a decade now, a decade and a couple of years. Been pushing the sound. Commonly, a lot of people know me from Afro House. Like from back in the days, we used to call it Tribal House.
Yes.
During what period? 2009, 2010 era. So I come from that era, and yeah, now I'm known as that Afro House guy, and also like a versatile producer as well. Which
Nice.
I have another alias by
Yeah.
the name Aquatone as well. So yeah.
Yeah. Nice. I mean, first of all, it's a pleasure to host you. I think more than being friends, we have a great admiration for you and what you've achieved.
Right.
What did the early kind of stages of your career look like? Like what inspired you to, get into music?
Yeah. So yeah, I got inspired from a very early age.
Okay.
Like roughly I could say when I noticed that I was maybe around 4 years, but my mom tells me that it goes way beyond that. Like from the age of 1, I've loved music since birth, basically. So it comes from way back. You know what I mean? So it's something that I was born with in a way.
Okay.
Yeah, basically. But when I started off, like mostly, the music that I used to listen to was, like hip hop, you know. I come from that, background, and then initially when you get to grow and then you get influence and inspiration from
Yeah.
friends and people in your surroundings, so you get to know a lot about like other, genres and all that. So that's when I discovered house music, and instantly, like I just fell in love with it.
Yeah, I think, yeah, sorry. I think a lot of people get hooked, right?
Yeah,
And then you kind of find yourself in the genre. But I feel like maybe it starts with the genuine love for music, you
of
know.
course.
Like for me as well, I used to listen to a lot of hip hop. When I was younger, my parents used to say, you're always listening to music.
But
So yeah, I mean, I can tell from your music that it's been in you and it's in the blood.
it's in the blood.
That's really, really interesting. I wanted to delve more into like, when did you see or experience or had a feeling that it was like your first major break, like as the couple in the scene?
Um, I think it was roughly around 2013. Um, there was one remix I've done
Yes,
by Monewa, which is called Pretty Disaster.
huge record.
Yeah, that is. I had like so many records before that,
Yeah.
but for me, it felt like a major like breakthrough because it became like one of the mainstream, record where everybody could relate to it, mostly like females,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think that was the point, like a
Yeah.
turning point, like, where my career kind of like, took a toll.
Yeah.
And
Did you kind of like anticipate it, or did it just happen by chance? And were you like, wow, I didn't even realize this record was going to have this impact?
Nah, I did not. I did not. Like, it's funny because, like when you in studio, you can't predict either you're going to make a good song or a bad song. Whatever that comes out, whatever that you feel within you, it's what matters.
Yeah.
Like, whatever that you're sharing,
Yeah.
the energy. that you are transmitting through, the frequencies. That's what matters,
That's what matters.
to the people, basically. Yeah.
That's very interesting. You mentioned that, and I wanted to kind of pivot towards your creative process.
Yeah.
As a DJ and as a producer, like how do you approach like a project file? Do you have an idea in your head and you're like, wow, I have this melody and like put it down, or are you more a percussion guy? You start with your percussions. Like, what's your kind of creative process?
Yeah. I guess I start like mostly the melody, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't have a formula,
Yeah.
because sometimes I could start with percussions, It just depends on the feel.
Yeah.
How you feeling? Like what's the mood
Yeah.
of the day, Because
Yeah.
I'm in studio every day. So every day I guess I wake up like with different moods, and that just, facilitate the way that I'm gonna tackle a song. So yeah, I can't say I have a formula, but anyways,
It could
the
be
one that comes instantly,
Yeah.
I go for that for sure.
Amazing. You mentioned that you're in studio every day. For maybe our younger producers who are out there, and of course, even for me, how many hours like do you spend? Would you say sitting in the studio?
I spend 365 days. Can't count the hours, but
I love that.
I
I love that.
spend like
Yeah.
every day, like in studio.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, because the funny thing about like music production,
Yeah.
you keep learning. There's never a point where you're like, oh, snap, I got this.
Yeah.
You always come across something that's like new.
Yeah.
That's very intriguing to me, basically. That's why, I love making music. That's
Yeah.
why like I'm in studio 24/7,
Amazing. I mean, even for me, like I'm fairly new to production and I've been enjoying my journey. But I also realize there's no right or wrong way to make music.
Nah. There's
And
no formula.
exactly, and that's
Yeah,
what the cool thing is about it, right? Like,
of course.
if you're doing it this way, no one can come and tell you, "Oi, you're doing it wrong."
Of course.
Like,
Of course.
you know what I mean?
Look at this. Like I started as self-taught producer. So I never went to school for it. I never studied any of it. You know what I mean? So basically, in short, like there's no formula to it. Or else other people, they study that,
Yeah.
and then they get to know and to
Yeah.
learn it from, studying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it comes in different forms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to add on to that. I mean, from a personal experience, I I come from Indian heritage. My parents were very much like doctor, businessman,
Yeah.
and I had to get a degree. I would have loved to study music, and I thought I had to study music and get a degree in it. But I went to the University of YouTube,
Right.
like
Of course,
played
yeah.
around, and had like homies who were also in this like a similar journey. Where I'm like, you know what? How do you do this? How do you do that? And like, and I've noticed this with collaborating. You
Yeah.
send a project file, it comes back, and you're like, oh, that's really cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna do that as well. Like, I think that whole essence is maybe something the listener doesn't realize when they listen to a record. Like,
Yeah.
it's information is anywhere, right?
100%.
But you've got to work hard at it, and you've got to really, really put in effort.
Yeah. It's all about learning.
Yeah.
Learning at the end of the day, for sure.
For me, I think it was 2017 Indigo Child. Yes, that album had a massive impact on me personally.
Yeah.
I remember, I think you were coming down from then, like you would come from Gondwana. I think, was it 2018 or 20, somewhere around then?
20, yeah.
Yeah.
18, I think.
Yeah, 2018. And I remember we had this chat there, and we were playing that show, and I was just like, what went through your mind when you were making Dancing in the Villa? Like, that till today is still a mad, mad, mad track.
Yeah. Let me tell you a secret. I produced that on a phone, like the FL mobile app.
What?
Yeah.
On a phone?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a madman. That's mad. No, honestly, I was ripping that record. I could play it anywhere. I came from more of a progressive house background.
Yeah.
And so I still had that like kind of grooviness in it, but I could fit it in sets and it would go off. And I think actually I'm going to bring it back into my sets. Like, it's been
For
a
sure.
while, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
So in terms of like the music you're making and where you see your next releases are kind of going, is there anything we should be excited about? Is there anything we should look out for? Are you working on something?
Yeah. So I'm currently working on an album which I've been working on for the past 7 years now.
I know.
Yeah.
I was gonna even when we had lunch, I was gonna be like, we actually spoke. Like I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
album, like you know.
Yo, yeah. So yeah, finally the project is well put together.
Nice.
Very exciting project. You know, yeah, this I would say I invested like all my time and energy into. And yeah, I can't wait, to drop this one, man. It's something different. It's
Really? Okay.
something, yeah, 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 yeah.
And I mean, you say 7 years, like that's wow. I mean, you're ready to tell a story, basically.
Of course. I mean, like there are projects that are on the album
Yeah.
that have started 7 years ago, which was after, the first project, Indigo Child,
Yeah.
part one,
Yeah.
so that's where the story actually
Yeah.
started. I was starting to, tell my story. And
Yeah.
in that sense, it was a turning point where now I needed to, develop a new sense of, style.
Yeah.
I just want to be unique and
Yeah.
different all the time. Every time
Yeah.
when I drop a project, I
Yeah.
don't want to sound, the same as the previous one.
Yeah.
I always bring up something, new to the market,
Yeah.
and I believe that's what this project is gonna
Yeah.
come up with.
I mean, you've mentioned something very interesting, new to the market. Us sitting here in Kenya, and you're touring the world. I've been lucky to tour as well, but there is this split, right? We have this gentrified Afro house sound that
Yeah.
is the Europeans are kind of making and so on, which in my opinion is kind of diluting the genre. And then you have kind of Afro house, right? And of course you have Amapiano and so on. I don't know what your opinion is on that, and do you actually think Kenya can become a hub for Afro house, or what are your thoughts around this whole kind of scene right now?
Yeah, I think Kenya has already became the hub of Afro House, honestly, because you know um, the love and passion, that comes out of the people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The support
Yeah.
that comes out of them. You know what I mean? More especially with we did a show called Bakoni, Kenya, where we brought the boys.
Yeah, yeah.
We did a B3B, sold out. There was Kunye
Yeah.
not too long ago. Where there was like what Kabza the Small also on the lineup too,
Yeah.
sold out. So you know what I mean? Like it's one of the places in Africa where I would say like it's gonna be the next biggest hub for our sound.
Our-
Not only just Afro house,
Yeah.
but music in general. You know.
I think myself and the boys have worked really hard, and I think these relationships have come for over 10 years. We've known each other for a long time. We've
Yeah.
known other people, and from bringing artists to bringing their brands, and you know, we are moving away from just booking artists. We want to book experiences because we knew there would be a situation where we're going to run out of people to book. Right.
Right.
Now, Bakone, in my opinion, is an experience. It was actually over my birthday that
Yeah.
time, and I came in, and I hadn't actually seen you play with the boys.
Right.
But what is Bakone? What is the concept behind it? Like, I'd really like to delve deeper into how you came up with it. And
Yeah,
so on.
yeah. So like Bakoni is like a project that we formulated, as a team, collectively at Genesis, right? Bakoni, which is a petty, I would say like a petty word,
Yeah.
which basically describe, like brotherhood.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, get you.
So, we kind of like formulating that in, the music
Yeah,
space.
yeah,
Where we're like coming together, despite it being like Sepedi, like Mapedi, which is the tribe where I belong to.
Okay.
In the music sense, everybody, we are all,
We're all together.
We're all together. We are all united. So basically, that's what the concept is all about. So we're uniting people through music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've always seen you as a very genuine person and friend, and I think that resonates through the band. You bought the boys, the B3B.
Yeah.
How did that come about, the B3B, and what are the plans for the B3B?
Yo, like that B3B we did here in Kenya was actually the first
No
edition.
way. Did you hear that, guys? Nairobi.
So this is something that was not actually planned. It's something that is I feel like me and the boys are like spiritually connected.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not just about the music.
Yeah.
It's about like the unconditional love as well. The love that we have for each other, the support that we have for each other.
Yeah.
It was very easy for us to dive, within this all together and to just have the chemistry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen the sets, but the chemistry, they just
Bro, you guys look like you're having so much
Yo,
fun.
bro, we never even practiced. There was never a point where we like sat down and did rehearsals.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for example, Napa comes from a space where me and him used to do a lot of B2Bs.
Okay.
Since back when we used to play it high.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know?
Yeah.
And him and Cairo also,
Yeah.
they started formulating a B2B
Yeah.
together, whether we're doing, Ibiza, like, yeah,
Yeah, so it was
those
just natural.
spaces. So it became natural.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? So it was just a chemistry thing, and
Nice.
yeah,
Very organic. Just
super organic,
Yeah.
bro,
Yeah.
of course.
So, are you guys planning to really invest in this project with you three? You want to take it further? Like, you guys planning to do, like, what's the next stage for it, or what are you guys thinking?
Yeah. Obviously, the next stage from here now on is to take it to the next level.
Of course.
Where we are currently have projects that we're putting together.
Yeah.
We're thinking of dropping like music. You know what I mean? And
Sick.
obviously we're gonna tour the world with it. Essentially it's just take, this movement to the next level, basically, because what he has done for the culture is beautiful.
Yeah.
We showed that like unity is key. It's important
100%.
to unite, because if we are all united, we can do big things together. So that's the power of
Yeah.
like brotherhood and
Yeah.
like unity, bro. Yeah.
That's beautiful, and I mean, I really, really cannot wait to see where it goes next.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have it back in Kenya. Hopefully, it comes soon.
Of course. Of course.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about touring and like the challenges and how you cope with it, maybe mentally and physically. Like, I mean, I think earlier when we were speaking, you were in Canada, then you went to Amsterdam, and then you went back to Canada.
Hey.
Like, how do you like recover? How do you sleep? How do you manage to keep yourself like ready to perform 100% every time?
Right. I don't think I have a formula for that, bro. Honestly, yeah.
You're just winging it.
Yeah. I still struggle, but
Yeah.
one thing that I think helped me, this year to look forward. You know how excited I get now.
Yeah.
When I have a show like overseas, I get so amped up.
Yeah.
I want to travel. I just want to explore. I think it's because like I took a break in between.
Yeah.
Like there was a month where was strictly like I had no bookings at all. I was like, nah, no way, I'm not taking anything.
Yeah.
So that kind of like helped me to mentally prepare for, and physically prepare for everything. So yeah, right now I'm taking it as it is. I'm actually enjoying traveling as much as ever. I'm enjoying it more than
Then you
all the past years, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Amazing. Now, I wanted to speak to you a bit about your ear health.
Yeah.
Now, I did some research. I got some custom earplugs, like minus 10 dB, minus 17 dB. I was advised by ear doctors to, not be in sound and so on. But it's really hard, right? You're in the studio,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
tinnitus as well, which is a condition that we all face. How do you manage that? Do you also? I've never seen you guys wear earplugs. I haven't actually seen any South African artist wear earplugs. Like,
And I never got earplugs.
yeah,
I wanted to, but yo, with the experience from playing it high,
yeah. It's
sound system, they kind of like messed up my eardrum, bro. I think I kind of like messed up my ears
from there.
at
Yeah.
this point in time. Yeah. I think there's a
Yeah.
point. There's sometimes where I do struggle to when I'm in the production phase.
Yeah.
Like I do struggle to keep up with some frequencies.
Yeah.
Because of the amount of sound that
It's
my
crazy.
eardrum is
Yeah.
took, bro. Was
yeah,
a blow.
I was actually backstage at High with Floyd Levine. He was playing, and I looked down. I had my earplugs in, but my shoelaces were like literally vibrating. Like I had to leave that booth. It was like super loud, and my ears are quite sensitive. But
Yeah.
I think we need to generally protect our ears, and
We do.
you know,
We
like
do. We do.
get
Imagine if,
earplugs, guys.
yeah, you must. Imagine if you're there, like, consistently so, like, weekend after weekend,
Yeah.
you know? And the sound bangs, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
It's,
the sound
it's
at
one
High
of my favorite sound
bangs,
systems.
bangs. But yeah, I never got time to invest in earplugs.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys advise me.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, for not taking your advice.
Yeah.
I'm regretting it now, you know?
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming through. We're excited for tonight.
Yeah.
And I wish you all the best. I wish the brothers all the best. Don't forget to link me with the album.
Of course.